Hello, hello, this is Tom from leanmusing.com. This will be the first of a series of videos that I'll be making to help explain different aspects of lean manufacturing to those who may know something, may know nothing, or maybe they know everything about lean manufacturing. Today is going to be the first video I make, and this is actually going to be a intro video to learning to see, and I put that in quotes. I know you can't see me, but I put that in quotes when I say that, and that is all about seeing waste in your operations. So let's just get right into it. What is waste, and why do we care about it? Well, the first thing that we have to do when we're talking about waste is learn to split it up into two parts, okay? And when I say that, I mean if you look at any operation, there are two parts to that operation. Otherwise, you would never be doing it. The first part is what we call value-added activities. And value-added activities are any activities that transform a product or service of some sort where that your customer is willing to pay for. So it's an important thing. Obviously, that's the part of your process that adds value to what you make, hence value added. And obviously, the other half then is what we call non-value added activities. And these non-value added activities are really the waste in your process. Of course, not every process that you do can be eliminated, of course, but our goal is to try to eliminate all of the unnecessary non-value added activities. Now, of course, you're going to have some non-value added activities that you have to do. It could be as simple as grabbing a part from a machine and putting it on the next machine, because maybe you don't want to invest in a pick and place system or whatever it is. But at the very least, it's very important to identify it so you can begin to see the waste in your process and identify the opportunities that are holding you back from being world-class. Or maybe you're already world-class and you want to get better, because lean is a never-ending journey of continuous improvement. I mean, Toyota's been doing it for many, many, many years, and obviously they're still doing it and still finding ways to improve themselves on a daily basis. So let's get right into it now. When we talk about learning to see, we're talking about 7 different wastes that we're looking for. These wastes are known as the 7 deadly wastes, I guess in parody to the 7 deadly sins. And they were developed by Taiichi Ohno over at Toyota way back when, in development of the Toyota production system, which is what, of course, lean manufacturing is founded on. Now, I'm not going to go into every single aspect of the 7 deadly wastes in this video. We're just going to talk a little bit why we really care to look into it in the first place. So the whole point of the 7 deadly wastes is to try to categorize all of the different things that happen in your processes, in your plant, in your business processes, and whatever it may be, and try to identify them so that you can begin to see the wastes and see the opportunities that your company has. So the 7 deadly wastes consists of transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overprocessing, overproduction, and defects. Now, some of you may have heard of the 8 deadly wastes. I know some companies practice a slightly different variation on this, and they add what they call unused capability or creativity. And while I agree that's a very important topic, for now we're going to stick to the original 7 deadly wastes, just so that it's a little bit simpler for people to understand. Because when you think about unused creativity capability, that is in my mind an entirely different topic that comes down to how do you run your operations, your culture, and of course this does too, but you really need to start penetrating that culture in order to achieve changes in that. So let's stick with the traditional ones, and let's ask that question: why do we care, and what does that mean? So in the case of transportation, for instance, right? We've got a product that we have to move from one area to another, and that's part of our job, right? So yeah, we do that every day, and everybody's used to it, and it's no big deal because that's what we do. But we have to start asking ourselves questions like, well, why do we have to move it so far, right? Why are we moving this a football field distance, which is typical, by the way, I've seen it many times, across a factory from one end to the other, just because the machine's located there. Okay, great. Well, does the machine need to be located there? Does the machine have the option of moving closer? Is it an operation that we can get a small machine to do and buy, say, a drill press, depending on what we're looking at, that can be fairly cheap and just drop it off right over at the end of the line where we normally would have gone over to the really far operation. Now, it might be something that you think, well, that sounds like a lot of work. Why would you do that? Well, it's all about cutting out the waste so that you can reduce your lead time, you can get better quality, you can get better reaction response time to your customers. Because at the end of the day, who is keeping you in business? The customer, right? So this is everything lean, in my mind at least, is all about focusing on what does the customer want, what does the customer need, and how can we get them that? How can we achieve that goal of getting them exactly what they want and what they need? Because of course, lean is definitely a strategy for not only maintaining your customers but getting new ones, and whether that's by getting more market share, which obviously is taking customers from your competitors. You know, that's all up for that's all for grabs at any given time, and your customers, or I'm sorry, your competitors can do the same thing to you, right? So you need to stay competitive, ahead of the game, and you got to keep your customers happy. So that's just a basic introduction to the 7 wastes and what we're looking to do with them. And in the next video, we're going to get into probably transportation more in depth, and I think I'll go through every single one of these. So again, hopefully you enjoyed the short introduction here, and we'll get into some more detail very shortly.